good afternoon. We're going to be talking a little bit about the influenza virus. It is flu season, so that means it's out and about. It's running rampant right now. It's contacted easily through person to person, and it can be missed time from work, school, with your kids getting sick. So we're going to talk about some ways to how the family and genre and whatnot of influenza virus, as well as ways to treat it, the cell structure of the viron, and pathophysiology. All right, and what we have here is the actual influenza viron. This is taken from an electron scanning microscope. And what you see around the on the outer cellular membrane are the hemagglutinin and neuraminidase receptors on this. Family, genres, A, B, C, we've all heard of those. Bird flu, whatnot. Again, with the genres and what affects what. Seals. Stand by. All right. Sorry about that. All right. This is how it gets its name. If you ever want to know why it was, why H1N1 came about, well, there's a lot more to it. First, you have the genre right there, where it came from, what strain it is, what year it was found, and then the H3N1, that was that hemagglutinin and neuraminidase that I mentioned earlier, the glycoproteins around the side. Pandemics, early on, the furthest back records I can find, 1 million deaths, 1889, 1890, and then H1N1, 14,000 worldwide. We're getting a better handle on it, but as you can see, 14,000 deaths is still pretty significant. All right, why do you have to get a flu shot every year? Because influenza will go through antigenic drifts, which often cause epidemics, and then antigenic shifts, which cause pandemics. Now, what's the difference? Okay, an antigenic drift is a very slow mutation, but it's significant enough to where that strain will mutate enough to where the vaccines that we have out now will not affect it. Your memory B cells, it can still be close enough that the memory B cells that you produced when you got the flu earlier in the year and it came back around again, they can still recognize it, attack it, stop it much earlier than the initial cellular response that your body gives. Now, antigenic shifts, this is when there is a drastic change. Back in 2010, the bird flu, everybody heard of that, and how it affected, it hit us out of nowhere. That's because it was a complete new virus. It merged with another influenza virus and created more or less a superbug. Cellular structures, all the viral RNA in here. This is what actually replicates once it gets inside your cell. Now here we go. We're talking about the hemagglutinin spikes that were sticking on the outside of the viron. These will actually attach to the receptor sites of your pseudostratified ciliated columnar epithelial cells, which are located in your upper airway. These are specific to the protein sites, the M1 proteins on those cells. They attach to that, and that's what enables them to go inside the cell. All right, like I mentioned before, here you see it attaching it actually takes some of the cell wall in with it, and then these M1 proteins, they start to leak, letting in some of the plasma, or the membrane, or sorry, not membrane, cytoplasm in here, which lowers the pH, causing this to lyse, releasing the contents of the viron into the nucleus of the cell, which has been replicated, moves on, and then creates much more new viruses. Now, this is an important part right here. We're going to get to it in just a second, but just remember this budding part. Whereas you can see this becoming an endosome, these are now exosomes as they exit the cells. In your body's response, you are going to have the immune response, It's a lot slower. It's what happens on initial contact. And like I said, the humoral response, that is your B cell, your memory B cells. They recognize it from what they've seen before. You can attack it much sooner and have a better outcome in the end. Duration of infection. You have 1 to 2 days of this virus infecting all these cells, spreading throughout before you realize that you're actually sick. And then your signs and symptoms won't show up for, as you can see, another day after the virus has already done its work. Signs and symptoms: signs, coughing, sneezing, runny nose, fever, symptoms, malaise, shortness of breath, malaise. Preventions. Number one prevention is washing your hands. Disinfect surfaces. Stay home if you're sick. The flu shot vaccinations. 2016, 2017 flu season, this is what the CDC predicts that we'll be in contact with. Treatment. This right here, this is a neuraminidase inhibitor. We mentioned the hemagglutinin and neuraminidase. The hemagglutinin attaches to the cell membrane, and what that needs to, whenever it buds out of the infected cell, is that neuraminidase comes in and cleaves off that hemagglutinin glycoprotein and allowing it to float out into the rest of the body and affect another cell. That stops that cleaving action, making it's stuck on your cell. It can't go and infect another cell. That's how it stops it. But so we've mentioned how to prevent, how to treat, and how to identify the cell structures, as well as a little bit of history. With that, I hope you take, if anything, take away, wash your hands.